Import to cloud. And we will start. Okay, and now I recall last class, we already started the data cleaning part, okay. The data cleaning part, we started with string manipulation, okay, string. And we quickly went over like the split, okay. By default, split using space, okay. And you can also specify that, so here it just shows. And split, what is split? Split returns the splitted, basically it's get each word out, okay, what you want to delimit the word out, and in a list, okay, so that's a list of string. So that's what a split returns. And you can also join, okay, using join to get all of the strings together, okay, from a list. And then you can also specify using what to join. And then we can also do some check, okay. And if you use the index to want to find something, is it in the string? If that thing doesn't exist, it will return error, okay, so be careful. And you can also do count, is it? You can also call replace, okay. So this is all Python's string, okay, handling, so not a lot of new thing. What the next one try to show is, if you recall, I believe previously we also kind of discussed a regular expression, so regex, okay, that regex is quite useful, very, very useful in data analytics, because it involves, you need to clean data, etc. So that's why this chapter discuss data cleaning. So part of data cleaning, you need to know how to handle string, etc. And using a lot of regex's advantage, take advantage of regular expression, okay. So to use regex in Python, you need to import regex, okay. And then over here it shows. So here we have the text. So it's some string, okay. And within the string you have space, all of these are space, and the /t. So it's tab, that is, so this is also white space considered in string. Okay, and if you use regex, you can also call regex split method, okay, split function. And then you can specify that I want to use space, okay, and the space to do the delimitation on which string, is it? And I'm not sure who still remember this plus sign in string, in regex, in regular expression, it means what? Who still remembers? Who still remember this plus here? What it mean? So the /s means white space, is it? And what does that plus after it mean in regex? So who still remembers? What is this?
One or more occurrences?
Yes, very good. It's one or more occurrence of the previous specification, is it? So that's what it means. Okay, so how about let's make this as our first quiz question. First quiz question regarding regex, this special plus sign, what it means. Okay, so can you send your answer to the chat? So it's what? It's one or more occurrence, is it, of the previous spec. That whatever you specified. Okay, so here it's white space. Okay, so that's regarding that plus sign mean. And the next one, let's see. So there are multiple ways you can do. Okay, here it says you can also call compile. You can compile regex. Okay, and with the compile function from the regex, that, and then in this case you can form a reusable regex object. Okay, so this is also, then you can specify it in multiple places, use it. So here it shows. So you compile this regular expression. So I compile this regular expression and store it in a regex object. So the variable is regex. Okay, regex. And then you call the split. Is it regex split on whatever the string? Okay. So this is the string. Okay. And you split. Okay, you split. And then did you see it use whatever specified? Is it to get all of the each word out? Okay, and then you can reuse in this case. Is it? You can reuse it. Okay, so this is compare with this version. Then each time you need to specify. Is it? So that's a difference. So if you want to reuse, then you can call compile, okay? And you can also find all of the matching patterns, is it? Matching patterns in the regex. Okay, so how do we do it? Is you call find all, is it? And this is a compiled regex object, is it? And this, you plug in the string you want to search, is it? Then it gives you all of the patterns it finds based on your specification, okay? Okay, so this is regarding regex, okay? And what the next one try to show is, if you recall previously, we learned that R, after R, you can have a quotation mark. Is it? What that represents is what? Raw string. Is it? And in raw string, there are all of this kind of escape. Is it? This will consider as raw string. So it's not escape. Okay, so be careful. Okay, that's a lot of time we are going to use. Okay, and let's take a look. So here we have a string, is it? And also use 3 quotation mark. 3 quotation mark. So who still remember what 3 quotation mark for in Python string? So how about this is second quiz question. Second quiz question. What are triple quotation mark? Quotation mark. Triple quotation marks mean in Python. Who remembers? Not triple. Sorry. Who remembers?
Multiple strings.
Yes, not multiple string. Multiple. Not multiple string. Okay. Multiple line. Okay, so it supports multiple line string. Okay, did you see here we have multiple line? Is it? If you just use a single quotation mark or double quote, won't support multiple line. Is it? So that's why a lot of time in Python, if you want to do comments, you can also use triple quotation mark. Okay. So multiple line. Okay. And then here we define some raw string. Is it define some raw string? Okay. And for this raw string, and over here, can anyone, so that's the second quiz question we already done. Okay. The third quiz question. So in regex, we also use angle brackets. So whatever in angle brackets, so what are angle brackets is used for in regex?
Set of
What's it?
characters.
Pardon me?
Set of characters.
Yes, set of something. Is it? So you specify set of characters. Is it? So it's a set. Okay, so that's used. It's not a list. Okay, so be careful. Okay, so not a single one. So it can be one any of it. Is it? So that's what it supports. Is it? So this means can be. So what does this dash mean then? So A dash Z. What does that mean? That means A to Z. Yeah, A to Z. Okay, very good. And here it's what? 0 to 9. Is it? And it can also including a dot. Can also include underscore, percentage sign, plus, minus. Is it? So any one of those are the legal letters. Is it? For pattern. Okay, for the pattern you defined. Okay. And then what does this plus sign mean here? What does this plus sign mean here? Then in this case.
So it means one or more of any of the characters of the previous set?
Yes, very, very good. Okay, very, very good. So that means repeat previous pattern. Okay, so that's what this part means. Okay, and then for this raw, it also includes the at sign. Is it at sign? Okay, and the next following at sign is A to Z, 0 to 9, dot, minus sign, is it? And this means it can be repeat again, is it? And then it follows what? Follows then can support the dot, is it? Support the dot and the slash, is it? And here it's A to Z again, is it? A to Z again, following the dot. And then how about this part? The curly brackets and with two numbers. So who still remembers? The curly bracket.
Specified character or numbers.
Yeah, so that means you can repeat the previous specified pattern, is it 2 to 4 times? So it's a range. Is it? It's range. Okay, so that's, it's not like plus multiple, not a specific number. So here specify no more than 4. Is it? That's what it means. Okay. So here you define this pattern, then you assign it to a variable, is it? And then what we do is we call that a compile, is it? So we make it a reusable pattern, okay, for the regex. And here says flag and also ignore case, okay, so it doesn't care case a lot. And then with this multiple line of string, then you call the find all. Is it called find all? And then you use this pattern that you just defined, is it? And it's going to give you, did you see? It only gave you the email part. Is it of the email part? It didn't include the previous, the space part. Is it because that's not a part of the pattern? Okay, so it will give you all of the emails. Is it? So here basically it also shows us if you want to find, do the scraping some email addresses that you can borrow this, okay? And maybe if there are some more pattern you can add in, okay? And what the next one try to show is, here is find all, is it? And you can also do search, okay? And when we do search, it says search returns a special match object for the first one. Okay, so search won't return all. Okay, if you want to find all, you need to call find all. Search will only return the first one. The first one. Okay, so that's what it gives you. Then here you can retrieve the back. Is it where to start, where to end to get to the first one? Is it? So that's what this search means. And there is another one in regex, if you recall, match. And also be very careful, okay? And here, if you take a look, the match, it says none. It said didn't find. Well, what is this? Why that happens? Is it that the match will check if the pattern occurs at the start. Okay, so this is the keyword, start. And of course, if you recall our original string, if you recall the original string, this is the start. Is it? This is start. And the email is the next. Is it? So that's why it didn't return. Okay, it says none. Okay, so be careful about all of this. And there are a lot of time you also want to do replace. Is it? Then you can also call sub. Is it? So whatever that pattern you find, you replace it with a new pattern. Is it? So here it says, okay, redacted. So did you see all email address is replaced? Okay. Okay, so here it shows quite useful is that we can define the pattern using compile. Okay, then it's reusable. Okay, so just pay attention. Compile give you a reusable pattern so that you can keep using it. Okay, and what is the next one here? Try to see, show us. Here it says a lot of time for your email address. Is it you wanted to have like username, domain name, and domain suffix? Is it you want to have the group thing out of? Is it so username? Is it domain and the domain suffix? Is it all of those? How do we get each one of it out from the pattern? Is it from the pattern? So a very nice way, okay? Did you see if you compare this pattern with the previous one, what we add here? The new thing we add, if you take a closer, it's a parenthesis. Is it the parenthesis? And the parenthesis. Is it the parenthesis? And who still remembers in regex what the parenthesis is used for? What do we call all of this? G what? Who's
Group.
yes, very good. It's for group. Okay, so that group this as one group, as a group 1, group 2, group 3. Okay, so that's a parenthesis used for regex. Okay, keep this in mind. Okay, then you can still do compile, is it compile? And then here it says, okay, you do match, is it? And then you can just call the groups. Then it will return you, is it return you? And what return is a tuple, okay, it's a tuple. So you can also do the group and call the groups to find each individual, because sometimes maybe you want to extract this out to get username, is it? And then you want to find domain, you can do some counting, is it? Okay, how many users from that domain, is it? Something like that. And you may also want to count, okay, how many users from .com, how many users from like .net or .gov, something like .edu, is something like that. Okay, so then this comes very handy, okay. Okay, and then what next one try to show is, and if you do that grouping, is it with your pattern, and then you call find all, then it says it return a list of tuples or tuples, is it? And the pattern also has group, is it? So it won't just return as a whole string, is it? It's a tuple, is it? Okay, so that's going to be quite handy, is it, when we do data analysis, okay? Okay, so this, and then the next one try to show is, you can also do a replacement, is it? And replace, because here we use group, is it? And how do you match? It's from group 1 or group 2 or group 3, is it? And it says we can using special symbols like /1/2 to represent the group. Okay, so this kind of also like the concept, is it? When you do string formatting, is it? You use the percentage sign, is it? So similar concept. And here you use this /1, so this is at group 1, group 2, group 3, is it? And you are going to replace the original with this kind of pattern. Okay, with this kind. And then did you see? It's very neat. Is it here say, oh, this is from the original. Is it original part? And then it says username. Is it username and which one? Is it and the domain which one? And suffix and which one? Is it also give each one kind of name? Is it? And because later on this may also become handy. Is it? Because this can be the dictionary. Is it? You can treat it as dictionary, and with dictionary and fill it to a data frame, then you can do a lot of processing, is it? So this also quite handy, okay? And what is the next one try to show is that we can also vectorize string functions in pandas, okay? So what does that mean? So over here we have dictionary, is that? So user and its email, user and its email, is it? And then you can plug it into a series, is it, a series? And the series, that's why it works, is because the key from the dictionary will serve as a series index label. Is it? Because that's the neat part for pandas. Is it? Column, it has can have name. Is it? An index column, both index and column can have label. Is it? So that's a neat part. Then you can have, you see, this is series. Is it with label? Is it with label? And then you can also check if there is any null value, is it that's return true or false. Okay, so this is straightforward. Okay. And so what over here it says vectorize. is it? And the vectorize is NumPy's advantage. Is it? It's very fast. Is it faster? Okay. So over here you say, okay, I want to check if any email is from Gmail. Is it from Gmail? Then you just just call the contains. It's vectorized. Is it vectorized? Okay. And next, what it also try to show is, because this is also vectorized, is it? And for the previously that we defined the pattern, is it? We already defined the pattern. You can also do vectorize find all. Is it find all? And then it will return you the corresponding grouping information. Is it? Okay, and you can also call strings a match, is it? And over here is you get the string, okay, from the series, is it? And then you call strings method, is a strings function, is it? And with the strings function, and over here it does vectorization, is it? So that's why it's pretty fast, okay? It's faster, okay, than the normal way you do the loop, okay? So it match, try to find the pattern, is it, to see if it match. So it will return either true or false, okay? So he just shows us the different way, okay? And you can also do substring, is it? So take off a certain number of letters from that string. Okay, so so this is our data cleaning, the second node. Okay, second node. And what is the next one regarding the cleaning? Hold on. Okay, let me bring that note up. So it's a kind of a short case study. Okay, for the data cleaning, okay, data. And I also have the link, okay. So this is regarding some movie data, okay, movie metadata CSV file, okay. And that data is a script from the movie, a movie website, okay, a movie database, okay, fine. Okay, so let's take a look. So after you script the data, is it, and save it as a CSV file, is it, then you can use read the CSV to open the CSV file and store it in a data frame, is it? Okay, so that's, we all understand, pretty familiar with this. And what next one show, okay, you try to glimpse, okay, what does the data look like, is that we can call head. Is that if you specify the number, it will return 3 rows. Is it? So okay, so it has a color. So if the movie is a color movie, is it? And director name, is it? Number of reviews, and how long the movie is it? And the director, how many likes, is it? Actors. So a lot of information you can see, is it? And let's see. And the actor 1, actor 2, and the gross. The gross are probably like revenue for the movie or production, okay. Anyway, so the money spent on the movie or the revenue, and the genre, is it? And if you take a look at the genre, it's also within the genre, it's separated by a vertical line, is it? And a lot of other information, and reviews, number of, and the country, language, budget. Oh, here is a budget, is it? And also rating and production year, is it? A lot of information you can get, okay. And if you want to take a look at the bottom part of the data set, you can also use tail, okay. So Not a lot of new thing. We all know that, is it? And what over here is if you want to get a specific column of data, is that you just specify the name, is it? Previously we learned, is it? With data frame, that's the nice thing. You can use column name and or like a index label, is it, to extract the item, okay? And then you can also do slicing, certain number, etc. So over here to give you the title, okay? And you can also specify with multiple columns, is it? And with multiple columns, be careful, okay? Then you need to include it in a list. Okay, and separated by a comma, because that's a list. And you provide a column name, is it? And after that, you get both columns. Then you can specify which row you want to retrieve, okay? Okay, so here just shows, and then what is the next one? You can also do value counts, is it? Value counts will return you some unique elements in a specific column, is it? So what over here you are interested, you want to know the director name, is it? And I'm not going to get off that. I just see the top 5 director, and they will be arranged in ascending, in descending order, is it? The value counts. Okay. Then you said, okay, I want to get the top 5, is it? Okay, so in this database, it will show the top 5, is it? Steven Spielberg is the number 1, is it, in this case? Okay, and you can also, for after value count, you can also do like summation or calculate average, a lot of stuff that you can do. Okay, and what is the next one? Try to show as over here, you also want to see, okay, if first take a look at this DF. So this get off the director name, is it? And you said, okay, I want to find the director name is Woody Allen, is it? Woody Allen. So that's the condition, is it? So over here, basically, it's going to do filtering, is it? And what is the next one? Okay, you said, okay, I'm also interested in what? The actor, also Woody Allen, is it? And I wanted to find the director is Woody Allen, and actor 1 is also Woody Allen. Do this filtering, is it? And I want to find all of the titles. Is it all of the title? And then to give you all titles. The movie name, is it? Both directed by Woody Allen, and he is also the actor, one of the actors. Okay, so you can use this filtering. And what the next one try to see is, so here is a filtering condition. Filtering condition is you want to find director and actor have the same name. That's a filtering. You want to get all of those items out, and you want to find totally how many is it. So that's, then you can do something like this. Okay, what the next one try to show is if you recall, is it, and the group by, is it, yeah. In pandas, this group by is very, very useful, okay, for aggregation, is it, for aggregation, a very useful function, okay, for group by. Okay, so here I extract just 2 columns, director name and gross revenue, is it, of the movie. I'm just interested in this 2. So this is a new data frame, okay. Then what I'm going to do, okay, I want to kind of aggregate by director name. So group them by director name. Group by what you're going to do, you're going to do summation, add all of the, so directed by a specific director, the gross revenue, I'm going to add all of them together. So I want to know the total revenue, gross revenue generated by that specific director. Then you're also going to do sorting. Is that sorting? And in descending order, you only want to get to the top 10. Okay. Okay, and then here it shows you the result. Is it? So you can see it's very neat. It's very efficient because over here, you just use this single statement as a group by, and then you add off them in the old way. Is it? So this is kind of like a functional programming concept. Is it? It's not like you use a loop, okay? First to do filtering, is it? And then you do summation, is it? And then you do sorting. No, is it? It's purely just based on the functions. Is it? You want to execute on the set of data. Is it? So that's why we say it's a functional programming concept here. Okay, and very efficient. Okay. So that's also one of the neat part for Python. Okay. So that's we have. And what the next one try to show is how do we deal with missing data? Is it? Because it's a huge data set. Is it? And here it just shows a couple of ways you can do. Is it? Like for the country, maybe the database, when someone enters the database, they forgot to enter the country. Is it? Leave that as empty. Is it? That's possible. Is it? So then in that case, how do you deal with? You say, okay, if it's nah, you just leave it alone. Is it? You're not going to fill it with anything. Is it? If it's nah, okay. And then for duration, so the length of the movie, if it's length, if it's a null value, a lot of time you can also use mean value to fill the net. Okay, a lot. So it depends on your application. Okay, and you pick how you deal with the net value. Okay, and you can also say, okay, I also want to drop or not. Is it? And what is the drop condition? You can also specify. And how, if you said, okay, it's all, then that means drop that have all net values. Okay, so that's what. So that's how the missing data you're going to deal with. Okay, and what is the next one? Try to show. A lot of time in pandas, if you recall that for data frame, you can specify the axis, is it? And we know axis 0 is for row and 1 is for column. Okay, column. Okay, so here you have a data frame. So this is our data frame. Okay, and the data frame, and we print it out, that we output it. And then over here, just try to show the data cleaning. You do the drop NA, the drop net. Okay, drop nets along what? Along column, is it? And you can also specify with what? It must be all of them going to be net. Is it? All entries in that column is net, is null, then I'm going to drop it. And if you check, this meets the condition of the other doesn't meet the condition, is it? And then if you take a look at the result, yes, it does drop that specific column, is it? So that's what this part means. You can also do fill net, is it? Fill the null value with specific, and you can specify, is it? You can specify along like which column, is it? Okay, so using dictionary here, is it? Using dictionary, okay. So over here, then what it shows, did you see? What it shows is, okay, fill the first one. Is it not the first, so column 1. So this is column 1. Column 1 here you have 2 net, is it? Then you're going to fill it with 0.5, is it? And what is the other one? The other one is column 2, is it? Column 2, the net. Then you're going to fill with 0, fill with 0. Okay, so that's how you deal with missing data. As sometimes you can, because sometimes you may also do some interpolation calculation. Interpolation calculation. That's it, and then you can also fill the value to the specified location. Is it? And here is a approach as you use some dictionary way. Is it? Okay, so that's a show. And over here, what it try to show is you can specify with method with F field. What F field mean? F field means forward field. Okay, forward field. So forward will take the previous value and fill all of the following. Is it? If you record it, it will use the previous and do the forwarding field. Is it forwarding field? Then it keeps filling. Is it? And because over here it's a start with net, so there is nothing to fill. Is it? So that's called a forwarding field. Okay, so it's also quite useful. And what the next one shows, you can also drop. Is it to specify the axis and how? Just a single one. If there is any one, you're going to drop. Here it must be all of them. Then you're going to drop. Okay, so you can specify. Okay, how do you drop? Depends. And what the next one try to show is, let's take a look. Okay, so we can have multiple level. Okay, so anyway, so here we have a data frame. Is it? And for the data frame, we have K1 and K2 as a 2 column. This is a dictionary. Is it? And what over here, this multiply. This is from pandas. Not pandas, from Python. Okay, Python. The multiplication sign means you repeat. Is it? And this means you append. Okay. So that's why you get this field. Is it? And then here you add the third column. Is it? Add the third column, and that's what this original data. Is it? And you can also call this method called drop duplicates. Okay, drop duplicates that's based on what? Based on this specific column. Okay, so if there are any duplicates, I'm going to drop it. So that's why all of this part gone. Is it being dropped? Okay, so you can also use this duplicate, drop duplicate to work. Okay, and what the next one try to show is you can also change a column title. Is it? So then it's just like a data frame. Is it? Then called data string, so you get the string. And this is purely string method. This basically is what we learned before. It's vectorized. Is it vectorized? Okay. And you can also rename column. Is it? So over here, I rename, then you provide the dictionary. Is it? Using dictionary. Is it? And specify the column name. Is it? And supply it to the column, then call the rename. Okay. Then data frames, the corresponding column is going to be renamed. And after that, you can also save the cleaning data. Is it? Save cleaning data. Okay, so that's regarding data cleaning. Okay, and the case study is a very simple one. So we complete the study of data cleaning. So Friday, we will start with new material about data wrangling and aggregation. Okay, so that's all for today. Okay, bye.